Hello, my name is Lola, and I'm going to be reacting to Bride of Chucky 1998 Kill Count Recount by Dead Meat. I think I've said that. Anyway, yeah, I didn't record my reaction to the last Chucky or Child's Play Kill Count, mostly because I just wasn't feeling it. I was feeling kind of sick. Uh, but anyway, yeah, I'm going to be reacting to this one. This is the first Chucky movie where we get our first introduction to Tiffany, played by Jennifer Tilly. Uh, so yeah, let's check it out. If you want to like, comment, subscribe my channel, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Here we go.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Bride of Chucky, released in 1998. The box office failure of Child's Play 3 put a 7-year pause on further Chucky sequels. Of course, didn't help that slashers were seriously struggling in the early 90s. But then came Scream, which revitalized the genre and sent studios scrambling to make hip horror movies for teens and young adults. Universal dusted off the old yellow good guy box and asked creator Don Mancini to make a modernized iteration of the killer doll. Mancini was happy to write something different and take things in a new direction away from Andy Barclay. Inspiration came to the franchise's producer and Chucky designer, David Kirshner.
I was in a video store and I saw a copy of The Bride of Frankenstein, and I just thought, wow, that would be great if we were able to create a bride for Chucky.
For a director, Kirshner and Mancini chose Hong Kong filmmaker Ronnie Yu after seeing his movie The Bride with White Hair. 5 years later, Yu would go on to direct Freddy vs. Jason. Brad Dourif returns as the voice of Chucky, who's now joined by his old girlfriend, Tiffany Valentine. Mancini specifically wrote Tiffany to be played by Jennifer Tilly, since he was a fan of Bound and Bullets Over Broadway. She is a fantastic addition to the franchise, giving a fan-favorite performance that cemented Tiffany's status as a series mainstay. Chucky and Tiffany are unfortunately coupled with a pair of protagonists who I find much less endearing. As I've said many times before, Jade and Jesse's bland relationship is a chore to watch. While it doesn't bother me quite as much as it did 5 years ago, it's definitely the worst part of an otherwise fun movie. But whatever, the movie's not really about them.
This film is my first romantic lead, and it's part of an overall strategy to launch me into the leading man status.
As with most late 90s horror, Scream's influence is all over this movie. While Chucky had always been ready with a quip or two, Bride brings him up to speed in horror's new sensibilities. This is a full-blown comedy, with tons of meta-jokes about the series' history and references to other horror movies. Mancini wrote it as a farcical romantic comedy, full of misunderstandings, kind of like, say, Three's Company. Bride also massively ups the gore, bringing us a whole host of creative kills far bloodier than anything we saw in the original trilogy. That's why its title is so different. This is the series moving on from its roots and officially becoming the Chucky show. We're no longer in Child's Play. We're of Chucky now. Well, of Chucky and of RECOUNT, because they're today's sponsor. Now, I know what you're thinking. James, another RECOUNT sponsorship. If you like RECOUNT so much, why don't you marry them? And to that I say,
do you, James, take these RECOUNTs to have and to wear comfortably thanks to their optimized gel tips? With 8 hours of playtime and 32 hours of battery life, as long as this sponsorship shall last.
I do.
And do you, RECOUNT, take James to have and to be worn by in noise isolation or awareness mode, as long as this sponsorship might live? They do, and they've got great sound quality.
I know, and they're backed by 50,000 5-star reviews.
With the power vested in me by this priest robe that I bought on Amazon, you may now use the tap function to play, change tracks, or change volume.
no, wait, Chelsea's my wife. RECOUNTs are already half the price of other premium audio brands, but you can get yourself a pair for another 15% off by going to buyraycon.com/deadmeat. Will twice the dolls mean twice the kills? Guess it's I do or die, so let's get to them. The movie begins in the Kill Count prop closet. Hey, Ben, could you please put that shit back in their bins? These evidence locker shots were originally written into the court scene cut from the beginning of Child's Play 2. Their reuse here fits perfectly with Bride's more meta tone. A cop named Officer Bailey is sneaking out some evidence to sell to a sultry-voiced collector.
Hello.
Hey,
I'm on my way, and don't forget my money.
Not very good role model behavior from Bailey. And before you know it, this ding-dong says hello to a throat slit that puts an end to Mr. Bailey's wonderful life. If you're gonna get murdered, though, might as well be by Jennifer Tilly in a Matrix getup. Huh, never thought to put the nail polish on the filer. What a time-saving life hack. Tiffany Valentine lured Bailey here to take his lighter and reacquire a pancaked Chucky, who's actually looking pretty good considering how he died
he got
in the
ripped to
last
shreds.
movie. She welcomes him back with Louis Armstrong and Rob Zombie.
Well, hello, Dolly.
Fuck, I love this opening. The living dead girl, the sexy Tilly, the stitched together title card. You instantly feel the series being modernized for the late 90s. That modernization extends to Chucky's new look, acquired in Tiffany's trailer of misfit dolls. She gives him the Toy Story 2 treatment and stitches him back together, Frankenstein's monster style. The stitched up face might be Chucky's most iconic appearance, and one that many fans associate with the character since it was literally everywhere when this movie came out. Ask anyone who worked at a Hot Topic. If only this movie could be all Tilly all the time. Unfortunately, the main human characters are our well-off Juliet, Jade Kincaid, and her trailer park Romeo, Jesse Miller. Jade is played by Katherine Heigl, last seen on the kill count in Valentine. These star-crossed idiots have to sneak around because at Jesse's home sweet hell is her uncle Warren Kincaid. Warren's her legal guardian and the town's police chief, and he don't like Jesse one bit. They have to use their best friend David as a faux date when
Man,
they're
I
going
miss
to prom.
John Ritter,
David
man.
made quite an impression. I think Warren's in love.
Yuck. Not my type.
The NSYNC reject-looking David is gay, and I know, blah 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 woke dead meat. But it is worth noting how uncommon it was to have casually gay characters like him in the 90s, even though there are some light jokes about it.
What are you going to study?
Theater arts?
But on an athletic scholarship, right? Playing hockey?
Figure skating.
He's still just a regular guy who's incidentally gay. I like that Don Mancini, who is also gay, was able to write this character into a popular franchise back then. The reversed beard doesn't work though, and the kids are pulled over by Warren's lackey, Officer Norton. The kids call him Needle Nose because, well, look at him. The crooked cop keeps the kids in the rain until Warren shows up looking like the Great Pumpkin. The police chief knows how to deal with a problem child, and since Jesse didn't follow any of his 8 simple rules, he condemns him to eternal blue balls.
You fuck. But you won't. Not Jade anyway, not anymore.
Warren Kincaid is played by John Ritter, a childhood favorite of mine because of
mine too.
Three's Company. I watched a lot of Nick at Night. He was last seen on the kill count as adult Ben in the It miniseries.
Kiss me, fat boy.
I'll never not be sad that he died so young, at 54 in 2003. Ritter was actually supposed to be in Child's Play 3 as a security guard at a Chucky factory in a scene that was ultimately cut. While this unfortunate couple is getting broken up, Tiffany's trying to get her mans put back together. Best way to do that is with a restoration incantation.
Give me the power, I beg of you.
Ah, there's her problem. You need voodoo for dolls, not for dummies. With the spell seeming like a bust, she's stuck with her current boyfriend, Damien Baylock, named after 2 characters in The Omen, the satanic child Damien and his evil nanny, Mrs. Baylock. Damien's played by the late Alexis Arquette, whose siblings David and Patricia are also kill count vets. Mancini based the character's appearance on Marilyn Manson, and even offered Manson the role, but the musician turned it down. Glad he did. Fuck that guy. Damien's the wrong guy for Tiffany, but he still tries to impress her with murder?
Oh my god.
Even though
you
it turns
really
out
did a number on
it's
him,
just
didn't
him.
you? What did he use? Was
It's just
he really
himself.
bloody? Did he scream a lot?
She soon realizes the snuff photo is fake, but hey, maybe he can pass it off as a bootleg Mankind trading card. Tiffany yearns for her old boyfriend, the one who really killed people, and she might be having a Dumbala after Allah since Chucky reappears with a lightning flash.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Damn, Damien, getting right to it. Tiffany gets kinky with Damien and his Dothamirian tattoos, and tosses Chucky in for a 3-way play pal playdate. A new toy is one way to spice up a stagnant sex life. Chucky remains inactive at first, but I mean, how you about to not get roused by this? Damien keeps dissing the doll until
Jennifer
Chucky
Tilly,
asserts
dude.
his dominance with an exorcist headspin and a proclamation about his penis.
Ain't the size that counts, asshole. It's what you do with it.
Chucky tears out Damien's
He's not
lip
wrong.
piercing in a painful moment that always stuck with me. He smothers Damien while catching up with his old flame via pillow talk.
Hi.
Hi.
How you been?
Okay. You?
peachy.
Eventually, his little doll butt does the job, and Damien stops struggling, gone the way of McMurphy. This is a long-awaited reunion for Tiffany, who was dating and killing with Charles Lee Ray before his body swap 10 years ago. But turns out, he wasn't as serious about their relationship as she was. This doll didn't want to settle down into a dream house.
You weren't gonna ask me to marry you?
What are you, fucking nuts?
Tiffany's domestic ambitions leave Chucky crying De Palma with laughter, so the scorned lover takes advantage of his size and locks him away in a widow baby quip. He can come out when he starts acting more mature. I love these scenes where Jennifer Tilly acts opposite a doll, and she enjoyed doing them too.
The good thing about acting with a puppet is that they never get into your life because it's so short.
The next morning, Tiffany hauls out a steamer trunk with Damien's corpse stuffed inside.
Awesome.
Jennifer Tilly provided that black dress and those Gucci shoes from her own closet. Her trailer park neighbor is none other than Jesse, who helps her out and deadlifts the dead body into the car. She tries to snag him up as a new boy toy, but Jesse stays loyal, meaning she's stuck with a colicky killer currently cribbed.
Tiffany! Where the fuck are you?
She decides to taunt Chucky and give him some company, a bride doll, complete with a Jennifer Tilly voice box.
With this ring, I thee wed.
She's having a good time teasing him, but later, Chucky uses the doll's ring to escape his Pee-wee penitentiary. Tiffany's having a bubbly soak and watching this movie's inspiration, Bride of Frankenstein.
We belong dead.
That's really
That movie's
cool.
tragic ending ain't the only thing cry-worthy, because here comes Chucky, looking like he's walking through an automatic doll wash. He knocks the TV into the water, shocking Tiffany to death in an inverse origin to her gothic counterpart. Chucky finds the whole thing exceptionally whimsical. I get it. Bubbles are fun. You will not be shocked to learn that this death was another recycled Mancini idea. The original script for Child's Play had Aunt Maggie dying via bubble bath electrocution.
What?
It wasn't used then, but you know Mancini. You just can't keep a good idea down. Chuck voodoos the way he doo-doos with an incantation full of ionization.
Ade dui dembala. Give me the power I beg of you.
It transfers Tiffany's soul into the bride doll, a new look she is less than pleased with.
You son of a bitch! What have you done to me?
Chucky lets her know they're bound together now, and if she ever wants to be tall enough to ride a roller coaster again, she'll help him find the Heart of Damballa, a magical amulet that serves as this movie's MacGuffin. The Heart of Damballa was included in the original Child's Play screenplay, but it was ultimately cut, and its scenes were lost to time. Bride of Chucky retcons it back into the mix, and onto my set, and claims that Charles Lee Ray was wearing it the night he became a living doll. One look at the footage in Child's Play shows that that's not true, but whatever. Whether we complain or not, it's still gonna be canon.
No matter what!
Now the amulet is buried with Ray's body in Hackensack, New Jersey, and it's the only way they can transfer their souls into human bodies.
All right, let's go.
Oh, sure. I'll steer and you can work the pedals. We're dolls, you dope!
Bride of Chucky takes place, I believe, in Lockport, New York, meaning these dolls are gonna need a ride to get to Hackensack, 6 hours away. Tiffany calls up Jesse and asks if he can transport some dolls, no questions asked, for the princely sum of $1,000. Jesse agrees, desperate to elope with his police-barricaded paramour. Tiffany gets ready for the road trip with a Joan Jett makeover set to Blondie.
Barbie, eat your heart out.
Good thing she had those doll-sized boots and fishnets hanging around, huh? Could use some tips from Chucky when it comes to playing possum, though.
Just act natural.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say act naturally fabulous? Just like with Chucky, the Tiffany doll was described by Mancini in the script, drawn and designed by David Kirshner, and built by Kevin Yeager, returning as puppeteer coordinator. The Tiffany doll had to have all the same capabilities as Chucky, but in a smaller body, requiring more sophisticated, scaled-down technology. Jesse grabs the plastic partners and swings by to pick up Jade, where we learn he has no idea how far $1,000 will go.
I can put a deposit on my apartment. I'll get a job.
Dude, you're so stupid.
Put you through college.
Motherfucker, this ain't the 1950s. I've got to agree with Chucky here.
I think I'm gonna throw up.
Still, their sappy bullshit is tolerable if it means 2 new fresh bodies for Chucky and Tiffany to transfer their souls into. The kids go inside to pack, not noticing the police acting fishy around Jesse's van. Chucky's ready to remove the roadblock with an old favorite, but Tiff reminds him that this ain't the OG trilogy anymore.
For God's sake, Chucky, drag yourself into the 90s. Stabbings went out with Bundy and Dahmer. You look like Martha Stewart with that thing.
Who the fuck is Martha Stewart?
my idol?
His second choice, a hammer, is called Predictable by Tiffany, calling back to how he already used it as a weapon in the first film. Tiffany encourages creativity, so when Warren comes back to plant some drugs in the vehicle, the dolls lure him to the front and use the airbag as a springboard to fill his face full of nails. I love that little death twitch.
Why does that look so familiar?
That's meant to be a reference to our old pal Pinhead, but the joke's never quite landed right for me.
Oh, speaking of me, when are you going to stop redoing old episodes and finally finish my series?
When you make better movies.
Fair enough.
The dolls here are the most expressive they've ever been. This was the first time they had a computer system that allowed them to pre-program the doll mouths before shooting. That way, they'd match the pre-recorded dialogue the same way in every take. This was a huge time saver, freeing up more puppeteers to focus on other things. Though it looks like they still had the late Brock Winkless and that headgear getup to do any necessary on-set mouth movements.
And now, whatever I say, Chucky says. That's right, Brock.
Both dolls had several versions with different heads that could be swapped in and out. Even with the new innovations, they still required teams of 7 to 9 puppeteers, especially when it came to walking or crawling using the cable versions.
It's a very difficult process with just one doll, and when you have 2 and you have 15 people that have to crowd around a small space, it is very difficult.
A lot of the sets had to be built on risers 5 feet up, which was especially difficult in Tiffany's trailer. With the wiring and plumbing needed for all the special effects heavy scenes in there, production designer Alicia Keewan said it was more a work of science than a set. The dolls clean up their mess before their fleshy counterparts return, but there's another problem. Officer Norton, who pulls them over near a crowded parking lot. Jade tries to appeal to Norton's humanity, only to find that he has none.
You seem like really nice kids. It's nothing personal, at least on my part. But
the money.
Damn, Jade, can't be throwing hands with a cop in public. That'll get you all sorts of suspicious glances. Jesse sends her inside to cool off, but is similarly incensed once Norton finds the planted drugs. Shit! Outside of the doll antics, that is hands down my favorite part of this movie. It once again falls on Barbie and Clyde to get this show back on the road, so Chucky grabs Tiffany's stolen lighter and baby crawls his way to Norton's car. As the officer radios into the station, Chucky stuffs a burning flannel into his fuel tank.
God damn it, Chucky!
He crawls back, pausing only to flip off a stoner on his way to dinner with Patrick Bateman.
Rude fucking doll.
Norton barely has time to smell the gas before he's incinerated in a fiery explosion. Flaming wreckage goes everywhere, but it doesn't kill anyone else, not even the dude inside this phone booth. Slow motion shows this poor stunt performer ducking out of the way. The surrounding bystanders are quick to accuse Jade and Jesse, so they peel out, leaving a pileup of primary colors in their wake. These